Hello once again, Niner Faithful. Johnny Dell back with another episode of 49ers Playbook, the channel that's trying to answer the whys and hows of the game. We're going to be diving in a review of last week's win over the Arizona Cardinals. If you missed it, be sure to check out my previous video on Jimmy Garoppolo's game-winning drive. In this episode and the next two, we'll be talking about all things offense before diving into the defense. Arizona came out looking to do what they did in the previous game, and that was stop the run at all costs. With some key drops early in the game, it looked like this might be a game that slips away and will lead to more talk about how the team can't rely on Jimmy G when the run game is taken away. However, the turning point was when we were able to hit Richie James on a throwback screen which set up the first score in the game. Then, a little later, Jimmy G caught fire, throwing 14 straight completions and leading the offense on 2 more scoring drives to take the lead. Not every play was perfect. There were 2 interceptions, though one was on a play where Arizona ran a defense I've only seen twice before in 6 years of watching film and that I've never seen him face before. The second was just a bad throw with 2 unblocked rushers coming at him. In all, he made a number of great throws in the game, time after time hitting his receivers and allowing them to get yards after the catch. He threaded the needle against zone, threw before his receivers came out of their breaks against man, and didn't let Arizona's attempts to confuse him work. It was one of the funnest games to watch in terms of the passing game that I've seen ever breaking down 49ers games, and I can't wait to get started breaking it down with you. This is the play right after the big gain by Richie James I mentioned in the opening, and we're going to get set up nicely deep in the red zone. We're going to come out in 21 personnel. This is one thing that makes Shanahan's offense unique and why he likes versatile players so much. We come out in a personnel grouping that you would see to run the ball. This is going to put Arizona in their base defense, and with both receivers to one side is going to reveal zone coverage. We motion Sanders across the formation and will run a double China concept. Both out routes occupy the underneath defenders and get them moving towards the sideline. We then have Juszczyk coming in on a slant route, and Jimmy hits him for a nice gain after the catch. Here's Jimmy Garoppolo's first touchdown of the game. After being set up deep with goal to go, we come out and spread out the formation. By having Bourne in close and no defensive back on him, it reveals zone coverage. We motion Bourne across the formation and are going to run a smash concept with him and Dwelly. Arizona is going to look to play a stick concept that we oftentimes run at the goal line. So they're going to be playing a little bit different of a defense. It's essentially a 6 underneath and 1 deep defense. As Jimmy drops back, he's reading the outside defender, who attacks Bourne's quick out and opens up Dwelly on his corner route. And it's our first touchdown. This throw and catch would start a streak of 14 straight completions by Jimmy Garoppolo. First, Arizona is going to come out and give a cover 2 man look. We're going to run a variation on a smash concept with Deebo Samuel and Ross Dwelly, with Ross Dwelly looking to break back in after faking out. This play is actually meant to hit Dwelly against man coverage. It's the same play I saw Kittle take for a huge gain last year against the Broncos. Samuel's route is meant to run interference on Dwelly's guy as he has to run over the top of 2 players. On the backside, we're going to run a sucker concept. With this combination, the quarterback is to choose a side to work based off of a middle of the field open or middle of the field closed look. With the middle of the field open, Jimmy should work the deep in route to Sanders. However, post-snap, the Cardinals go into a cover 1 robber defense. The robber refers to one of the safeties rotating down to rob passes over the middle intended to split the safeties. This defense has led to countless interceptions thrown. I remember Rod Woodson taking a pick to the house back when he played for the Raiders with this coverage. And it's the same coverage that Kansas City used to force Rivers into one of his 4 interceptions last night. As Jimmy drops back, even though Dwelly's route is open and is the primary, he sees Samuel has outside leverage on his defender and the defender's back is turned. Even with pressure coming off the edge, here's the moment where Jimmy starts to throw the ball. It's before Samuels has even started his break. That's great anticipation, and he hits Samuel in stride for a huge gain on 3rd down. Arizona tried to bring a lot of pressure in this game, but more often than not, Jimmy was able to make them pay when they blitzed. Here, Arizona is going to be in cover 1 man with a 5-man rush. We're going to have a speedo concept where you have a clearing route and a deep over route with a flat route. Jimmy drops back, and you see why we went out and traded for Sanders. He beats the press coverage and gets inside leverage. Jimmy sees it, has perfect footwork, and delivers a ball where only Sanders can catch it. This is going to be the first play coming out of halftime, and it's pretty much from here on out Shanahan decided he was going to commit to the pass. We come out in 21 personnel with 2 backs and 1 tight end. We split Dwelley out wide, and with a safety on him and Peterson on Sanders, it reveals man coverage. Coming to the line, Jimmy sees Peterson on Sanders and checks the play. You'll then see Arizona's defenders checking their play, and Peterson moves back outside. What's happened is some fun cat and mouse game of the NFL. One team comes out, forces the defense to reveal its coverage, and checks to a play to defeat that coverage. So the defense then checks their play away from what they just showed. From there, we then empty the set and are going to run a mesh concept. The mesh concept is used to defeat man coverage a lot, as you get 2 receivers on short drag routes to run interference. You then have a curl set a few yards deeper than the drag routes over the middle as a check down. We're also going to include a vertical clearing route. As Jimmy drops back, he wants to hit juice check with that side having the clearing route versus the zone. Jimmy nearly throws it to him, but sees the defender didn't bail on the vertical, and he's able to hold the ball just long enough for Coleman's drag to break open. He delivers an absolute strike right before getting hit for a big gain to open up the half. Here's another example of how we made Arizona pay when blitzing us, and is a great call by Kyle Shanahan. We're going to come out in a run-heavy formation in 21 personnel and are just going to run a flood concept off play action. Arizona is going to be in a fire zone blitz with 3 deep and 3 underneath defenders. The run fake pulls up the underneath defenders, and with the blitz, there's no defenders anywhere close to cover the deep out route. And it's an easy pitch and catch for Jimmy G and Deebo Samuel. So now we'll end this episode looking at the second touchdown of the game for the 49ers. We're going to come out in 11 personnel with a bunch formation to the top. Arizona is going to come with a cover 1 blitz. We're going to run another mesh concept. So remember how I said the mesh is used to beat man coverage? Well, here it is. This play is designed to go to Dwelley all the way. You're going to get 2 shallow crossing or drag routes out of the bunch formation, and Dwelley is going to chip and then run a drag. The 2 drag routes are meant to run interference on Dwelley's man, but with Dwelley chipping first, his man thinks he's staying in to block and takes his eyes off Dwelley. From there, he gets a free run into an open area, and it's an easy touchdown to take the lead. Well, that's it for this episode, guys. Stay tuned tomorrow and Thursday for more episodes coming out. There's still a ton of stuff to go over from this game. There were a ton of plays run and lots to still talk about, so be ready for more stuff soon. And as always, go Niners!